Contradiction. Now there's a devil of a thing. It's where most love stories die and where the best ones begin. Today we're talking about that maddening paradox. How can you tell if an avoidant partner actually loves you? Ah, yes. Love in the land of the avoidant, a place where silence screams and absence sometimes means everything. You see, the title of this talk, How Can You Tell If an Avoidant Partner Loves You, is not just a question, it's a riddle, wrapped in a puzzle, whispered behind a closed door. Because if there's one thing the avoidant partner does well, it's hiding. Not out of malice, mind you. No. It's more like a turtle tucking its head back into the shell when the weather gets too loud. They love. Oh yes, they do. But not in the ways you'd expect. Not in the ways you'd want. Not always in the ways you'd even recognize. Let me tell you a story. Many years ago, I knew a man. A quiet sort. English as the weather in November. His wife, spirited, affectionate, a hurricane in a tea shop, would weep to me over sherry. He never says he loves me, she'd sigh. Never writes, never calls unless I do first. But I know, I feel, that he cares. I watched them once, on a rainy Tuesday. She was furious about something, her voice a firecracker. He didn't say a word, just stood, listening. Then, as she stormed off, he reached into her coat pocket, quietly slipped in a pair of gloves. Her hands were always cold. That, my dear friend, was love. Quiet, unannounced. Avoidant, yes, but love nonetheless. You see, the first truth is this. Love isn't always loud. Avoidant partners, they tend to speak in subtle gestures, acts of service, fixing the broken tap, making sure your favorite coffee's in the cupboard, standing at the edge of your life, arms folded, hoping you notice they're still there. And it drives the anxious among us absolutely mad, doesn't it? You ask, why won't they just say it? Because to them, saying it feels vulnerable. It's like standing naked in the cold. Saying I love you implies a certain surrender. And for the avoidant, that surrender feels dangerous. Terrifying even. You want an answer to the question, do they love me? Well, here's what to watch for. Consistency, despite the discomfort. Avoidant people often feel suffocated in close quarters. But if they come back, over and over again, if they retreat, then return, that's not confusion. That's effort. That's love, crawling back into the light, blinking against the sun. It's in the tension, the contradiction, that you find the answer. A person pulling away while still holding on. Another example, a woman I once knew, headstrong, fierce, like lightning in her laughter. Her partner barely spoke. He hated conflict, hated confrontation. But once, when she fell ill, I saw him sit by her side through the night, feeding her soup with a hand that trembled. She asked him later, "Why didn't you tell me you cared?" He looked confused. "I stayed," he said. Avoidants often believe their presence is the declaration, but we miss it, don't we? We're so tuned into the language of love that we forget some people speak in dialects. Touch, time, quiet devotion. The 5 love languages, yes. Words, gifts, time, touch, service. Avoidants lean heavily on the last 3. Sometimes they're not giving less. They're just giving differently. But here's the catch. You cannot only listen to their actions while ignoring their absences. That's where we get tangled. Because while the avoidant partner might love you, they also might be deeply conflicted. And if they consistently fail to meet you where you are, emotionally, physically, relationally, then love alone is not enough. Let me say that again. Gently. Love alone is not enough. If you feel confused more often than cherished, if you're constantly translating their silence into affection, If you find yourself working twice as hard to feel half as secure, then you may be trying to turn a contradiction into a confirmation. One of the hardest truths is this: just because someone loves you doesn't mean they are ready or able to love you well. That's the heartbreak of it. You might see flashes, beautiful, tender, sincere, a hand brushing yours, a text sent at midnight, the way they remember your favorite song. And those moments feel like salvation. But look also for the gaps. Are they there when it counts? Do they vanish when things get too intimate, too raw, too real? You see, avoidance isn't just a style, it's a survival strategy. Somewhere along the line, the avoidant learned that closeness meant danger, that vulnerability meant hurt. And so they shut down, not to hurt you, but to protect themselves. It's not your job to break that wall down with brute force. Love isn't demolition, it's invitation. You can hold space, you can be kind, you can model consistency, but you cannot coax someone into safety who still believes love is a battlefield. And that's where it comes full circle, doesn't it? How can you tell if an avoidant partner loves you? You'll see it in the friction, the push and pull, the effort to stay, despite their fear. You'll see it in the gloves in your coat pocket, in the small secret offerings they hope you'll understand. But most of all, you'll feel it when it's there, and you'll feel it even louder when it's not. And if you're always having to convince yourself it's there, then maybe it isn't. Or maybe, just maybe, it's love, but not the kind you need. So ask yourself not just, do they love me? But is this love making me feel safe? Because real love, even from someone avoidant, ma foi, might be quiet, clumsy, hesitant, but in its truest form, it still knows how to stay.
If you believe this video might help someone dear to you, share it with them. A small gesture on your part could mean the world to a friend in need. If you believe this video might help someone dear to you, share it with them. A small gesture on your part could mean the world to a friend in need.